Meeting to order.
All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met for this meeting. The West Morris Regional High School District Board of Education. Notices were sent to the Morris County Clerk and the clerks of the municipalities comprising the regional district, the Observer Tribune, the Record, and the Star Ledger. Notice is also posted in the District Administration Building, West Morris High School, West Morris Benham High School, and on the West Morris Regional website. Mr. Button, present. Mrs. Forster. Here. Mr. Galida. Mrs. Gilmet.
Here.
Mr. Johnston. Here. Mr. Wilbron. Here. Mr. Meyer. Here. Mr. Richard. Here. Mrs. Schramm. Here. Madison Allworth. Here. And Charles Durkin. Here. Okay, you do have quorum.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the November 15th meeting? So moved. Second. Thank you, Sue. Discussion. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. At this time, we need to swear in our newest board member. Doug?
And raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, please say your name.
I, John Meyer,
Do solemnly swear that I support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
under the authority of the people, so help me God.
And I, you say your name,
I, John Meyer,
do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education.
do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education.
I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1.
I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1.
And that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
And that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability.
Perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Hi, Joe.
Mary, give me that first merit of the year, okay?
Actually, the last one.
Nice,
Okay, I'd like to begin by congratulating Mendham High School's girls cross country team, which won the Group 3 state championships. So we begin with that. In addition to that, science departments at both schools were recipients of grants that I thought would be important for us to know about. The BASF Corporation put out a call for grants, and West Morris Central, Margaret Schaefer, put in a grant proposal for them for studying the Human Genome Project. It followed up the presentation that she made at a recent board meeting. And West Morris Central Science Department won that $5,000 BASF grant. What's interesting about that is that 4 schools in the state won. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 2 high schools. And what we were informally told by the scientists who were judges of this is that this West Morris Central grant proposal was among the most sophisticated they'd seen, and they were very impressed with what was going on with that work on the Human Genome Project. In addition to that, Mendham High School Science Department, Mr. Tadica, thank you very much, put a proposal in to the Mendham High School PTO for purchasing digital microscopes. That, can you give us a one sentence what we will be doing with them?
Well, these are modern cutting-edge microscopes. We'll be able to outfit our lab science courses with these digital microscopes that interface with our computers and smart boards, and basically will allow our kids to use the most advanced microscope technology that's out there.
So, Mr. Tadic, I want to thank you very much for submitting that grant, and it was a recipient of an $8,000 grant from them in the high school PTO.
Yeah, we want to thank the PTO for that too.
Great. Thank you. Finally, you know, at the last meeting, we spent some time recognizing and speaking about Maggie Doyne's contributions and what was going on with one of our alums in a distant corner of the world. And I thought that this evening I'd like to speak about another one of those alums, and that would be to our 2005 graduate, Tim Fallon from Westmoreland Central, who's a second lieutenant in Fox Company, 2nd Battalion, 9th Marine Unit, serving in Afghanistan. I'm sure that many of you have read, but let me just focus a little more closely on the fact that Second Lieutenant Fallon was injured, and the circumstances that surrounded it, I think, were remarkable. He was traveling through the country with a member of the Afghan National Forces with him. An IED was exploded, and that member of the Afghan National Forces threw himself on the IED, saving Lieutenant Fallon's life. It exploded, and the member of the Afghan forces lost both of his legs, and in the blast, Lieutenant Fallon was blinded. And what he did while he was blinded was to put tourniquets on both legs of the member of the Afghan National Forces, put him on his shoulder, and carry him. And remember, he was blind, so he was carrying him based on directions that this particular person was giving him. By the time they got to camp, the Afghan soldier died of wounds, and Lieutenant Fallon was taken out of country and is at Walter Reed. If I could just read, if you'll allow me, a letter from his parents to the general community, I think it's important that we can do that. A number of people have asked me about Tim and suggested that I sent an email out for an update about him. This also gives me an opportunity to thank everyone for the cards, good wishes, and prayers. We've been overwhelmed by the support from the community and from friends and family, and indeed from people we don't know and from great distances away from us. We have received emails and good wishes from as far away as Singapore and Sweden. Thanks to all of you for getting the word out for prayers. Many cards are from children, and they are especially innocent, heartfelt, and funny. One small child that we don't know is mixing up Tim with Santa Claus and sent him his Christmas wish list. These Marines are a very special kind of people. I've heard it said that in some ways only a Marine can talk to another Marine. These war wounded help each other in many ways. You should know that Tim is one of the many war wounded at Walter Reed in Bethesda. To tell the truth, seeing these young men and women with such terrible injuries is heartbreaking. If you have time for a few more prayers, please think of all of our troops that have been injured. Tim is on the mend. He has seriously injured eyes, but that is not slowing him down. He has a long road ahead, but he's not standing still. He is in PT and OT daily and will need inpatient rehab for the sight impaired. Recently, Tim's older brother, Matt, and his wife, Jen, have had a new baby boy. Jen brought the baby to Walter Reed, and Tim held him for the first time. Doctors and nurses came to see Lieutenant Fallon and the new baby. Not a dry eye in the house. Tim's fiancée is Sarah, and she is a rock. She has a depth of character that is inspiring. Sometimes I think that both Tim and Sarah are Marines. One day at a time. Best, Chris and Maureen Fallon. So, I know that he has been discharged from Walter Reed to inpatient PTO. I would like to just spend part of this board meeting recognizing those contributions. And his older brother is deployed in Iraq.
Yes.
Okay, and that is my report.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to open to the public. If you have any questions or comments, please state your name and town and try to limit your questions or comments to 5 minutes. Yes.
Good evening. I'm Harry Douglas. I've been a teacher here at Mendham High School for the last 20 years. And what I have to say pales in comparison to the contributions of Mr. Fallon and people like him. But I want to speak to what teaching is really all about. The core of teaching is love. And I know now, after teaching for 20 years, I love teaching now more than I did then. Love is the basis of our faiths. It's the life's blood of what teaching is all about. And very often teachers are described as being a parent for the day. And as a parent who loves their children unconditionally, a teacher is really devoted to that sort of love for their students. I'm speaking really for the young teachers in our district, the ones who are just starting out. And they're faced with a situation that I think is daunting. They would like to live the American dream, as I've had the chance to. They would like to own a home, send their children to college. We're faced with incredibly daunting tuitions, and when I got into teaching for the most mundane reasons. Hopefully I could do a job that I would be proud of, that I could do well, that I felt like I could make a difference, and that I could share my passion for a subject with people, and convey to them that same passion. And there are certain things that happen along the way that you realize teaching is so much more than that, that you really get a charge when you find out that a student finally understands what you're talking about, or that maybe you had some small role in a student getting into the college of their dreams, or that a student wins an award. We've had students who have won countless awards over the last 20 years that I've been here, and there is an inherent thrill to making a positive impact on someone's life. And what I'm asking is that in these ongoing negotiations, which seem to be a standstill, that you think of the people who are coming into the profession new and what they're faced with, and the kind of American dream that they would like to have, which I've had an opportunity to follow.